right, I am here at Fanatics Fest here in New York City with the one and only Ariel Helwani. Hello, Ariel. How are you?
Hello, John. How are you? I have made it, my friends. I have made it as a diehard, long-time, hardcore Knicks fan. I have made it here on Knicks Film School with you guys. Holy smokes!
You want to talk about making it? Ariel just got done talking to Ice Cube.
That's right.
And what's the abbreviation? The GSP.
GSP, yes. George St. Pierre.
Yes, the according to Ariel, the greatest fighter of all time.
In my opinion, the greatest fighter of all time. But no one wants to hear that. Can we talk about if the Knicks are going to re-sign Precious Achiuwa or what? No,
do you want them to sign Precious Achiuwa? I don't think Precious Achiuwa wants the Knicks to re-sign Precious Achiuwa.
I don't even think it's a question of do I want. I just feel like it's a done deal. He's not coming back. And just based on the fact that towards the end, like he was not playing. No. I went to they played the Sixers in late March, maybe early April. And it was a game where like not a single regular Sixer player. It was a nothing game.
Quentin Grimes is the best player on the floor for Philly. Yeah.
And I just have to say, Achiuwa seemed so checked out. He seemed so disinterested. It was a little bit disappointing considering how he looked this time last year.
So let me ask you something, because you cover a sport where it's not one-on-one because these people all have teams in their own sense. But like, how do you go from like you're covering one guy and now obviously the Knicks, you're watching them as a fan.
Yeah.
Like what's the translation there? I'm curious.
I understand what you're saying, but for me, it's like there are a few things in life that make me happier than the Knicks.
Yeah.
That I don't watch TV shows. I don't watch movies. The guys that I work with make fun of me. Like they'll talk about movies.
Just
I have
sports.
no idea. It's really, for me, it's the Knicks and the Bills. I'm a hardcore Bills fan. People ask me all the time, like, which one would I want to see more? I don't know what the answer is. But the Knicks bring out like a different feeling in me that maybe the Bills don't, because I adore basketball, because I played basketball.
I was going to say, is that a basketball thing or is that a Knicks thing?
It's because my favorite sport is basketball. In other words, I could watch easily Pelicans Kings.
Yeah.
I won't watch Cardinals Jets. I watch just Bills games. Yeah. But I adore the NBA. I adore basketball. I adore college basketball, etc. So probably that gives them the edge. But the Knicks are just, it's hard for me to even describe. And now I'm a father and my kids have gotten into it. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. I took them to Game 6 against Boston. Awesome. And it's no joke, like top 5 greatest days of my life.
Really?
Oh, no, without a doubt, man.
So I think I know the answer then to the next question. How was this season for you? Because as you watch the show, so you know, for a lot of Knicks fans, this season was incredibly frustrating. So where does it rank for you on the scale of like, you go back to the 90s. So where does it fall on your scale?
So it was incredibly frustrating in the sense that I felt like we never kind of like got into that extra gear.
Yeah.
And then there were times where I'd look at the record and I'm like, how do we even have this record? I feel like we're below 500 because there were so many like gut punch losses. You know what I mean? But this is the first year that my kids like really got into it. Like when I'm saying like got into it, you know when you're a hardcore fan and you're a kid and like you have your guy.
Who was your first guy?
So I adored Ewing, obviously, Starks, Oakley, Mason, but like I loved Hubert Davis.
Oh man,
I loved Hubert Davis. And
Hubert Davis is awesome. UNC,
my son's guy is Landry Shamet.
Oh, that's so cool.
So when Landry has his moment in the playoffs... Don't let
Benji hear you talk about Landry Shamet. He'll get upset.
But when Landry has his moment in the playoffs...
He had a few moments.
He's like, I told you, that's my guy. And this is an 11-year-old kid. By the way, this son that I'm talking about, his name is Walter.
Shout out to Walter.
Of Walt Frazier. That's how deep it goes. And so for his 11-year-old birthday, I bought him a Walt Frazier jersey. Amazing. And like to give Walter a Walt jersey was a big freaking deal. Now they're so into it, they're like, why isn't Mike Breen calling the game? Where's Alan Hahn? Bill Pito, the GOAT. Like, they know it on this level. So to answer your question, it was frustrating, but to see them fall in love with the team that I fell in love with back in the day, where I would feel the same about Al Trautwig and John Andres, it's an amazing thing to experience.
I have to ask you, because I have 2 girls, neither of them are really into the Knicks. Obviously, like, so you're sitting there watching game 1 with your kids against the Pacers.
Oh.
We don't have to talk about it, but are you like more heartwarmed by the fact that they are invested in this thing, or are you more heartbroken because you see the pain?
Great question. Detroit series. We're tied 1-1.
Yeah.
I say to my son, man, I'm really nervous. I like, we could be down 2-0.
Easily.
These guys scare me. They're tough. They've got a dog in them, whatever. My son goes, why are you so negative all the time? Why are you so negative? Like, you just got to
come on Knicks Film School. Could he host the post-game?
So this is the thing. That game happens.
Yeah.
Game 1 against the Pacers.
Yeah.
And he's distraught. And I say, now you understand. Now you get it. Now you're officially a Knicks fan.
That was his indoctrination.
Yes, now you get it. And he got it.
All right, a little bit off season, then we're going to let you go. Head coach, who do you want? Or do you care? Because I know I care, but I don't know that if like they hire Mike Brown over Taylor Jenkins, I'm going to be like heartbroken.
I will say this. I'm heartbroken for Thibs. I really like Thibs. And look, I could take my Knicks fan hat off and just say, like, this guy, his life is basketball. And I know he's walking away with $30 million, but like,
it doesn't matter to him, though. I mean, I'm not saying
he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that.
But
he did not deserve that. Look, I'm a big Bills fan, and I think like the Bills have gone as far as they could go with Sean McDermott. The Knicks didn't reach that level yet with Thibs. Could he ultimately be that guy? But I'll say this: what drives me insane about the media coverage is, and you know this, all year I have to listen to all these blowhards say Thibs running them into the ground. The minutes, look what he's doing to Cat. He's going to kill Jalen, this and that. And then the moment he gets let go, those same blowhards are like, look at what they did to Thibs. Look what, like, it's always anti-Knicks, and I'm so tired of it. I'm so freaking tired of it.
Know, it's whatever the narrative is at the moment. It doesn't matter what the narrative was or what it related to. You just have to go with the narrative.
But it's always anti-Knicks. It's better for business if the LOL Knicks are a thing. And so, yeah, it's great when they're doing well, but all these guys love that they can make fun of the Knicks. We'll be fine. We'll be totally fine because we have number 11. And as long as we have that guy, we're totally fine. As far as the answer to the question goes, I don't know, man. Jason Kidd, great.
I like Kidd. I'd like
Johnny Bryant, great.
You're not nervous about a first-time head coach?
Not nervous.
Really?
Not nervous. Look, I'm a Canadian. I'm not a Raptors fan, but I do remember when they fired the coach of the year, Dwayne Casey, and hired a guy named Nick Nurse and won the championship. Now, they did acquire Kawhi Leonard.
They did, and Nurse had like 30 years of head coaching experience off and on.
Sure, but he wasn't an NBA head coach.
No,
yes,
Europe,
I get what you're saying. Look at Mark Daniel as well.
Yeah, good example.
And I know it took some time with him, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. What I don't want is like a retread, like a guy who's kind of been around.
So you're not about Taylor Jenkins or Mike Brown or
so
like
I'll say this: I'm actually kind of friends with Mike Brown because he's a huge fight fan, and so
give us some insight. Then
I think it would be. I purposely not bothered him, but I would freaking love it if a friend of mine was the coach of the New York Knicks.
Send the text.
Yeah,
send the text.
Tell us who's in the meeting, who's controlling the narrative, Mike.
Right. So perfect transition. Less seriously, I'm gonna let you get out of here. You're Mike Brown. You get the job.
Yeah.
Next year, is your biggest worry, how do I maximize this offense? Or is it, I need to get the defense to a place where they could at least come up, not huge, but big enough?
It's two things. It's the defense 100%. The defense was incredibly disappointing, especially on the pick and roll and the 3-point and all that. But the bench has to get better. Like you look at OKC, you look at Indiana. Yeah, I know, Butch Shamet. My son's not listening. OKC, look at freaking Indiana. Like, the bench just needs to get better. It just needs to get better. We don't have enough firepower. The fact that we were relying, God bless him, DeLon Wright and Shamet in those moments was a little absurd. Like, these guys had not played, and now we're asking them to step up. So we have the starting five. I believe that.
You believe in this starting five?
I also believe that we shouldn't hold on to Mikal Bridges just because we traded 5 picks for him. Like, if he's not the guy, he's not the guy, and cut your losses. And I don't love the trade. I will be honest.
Well, I mean, I don't know how anyone could love the trade right now, today.
It hasn't aged tremendously well.
I guess my question for the front office would be, you already fired the coach that clearly that player had some issues with.
Sure.
How much do you think that situation is going to self-correct?
Well, we're about to find out. But no, I don't say trade him in the offseason. I just say I hope they don't give him the massive deal just because they gave up so much to get him. We have to do what's best for the squad.
So $156 million.
I want Devo back. I'm sorry, but I want Devo back. I want my guy back. I love Devo. I miss him. I legit still feel hurt by that.
I was in the building for game 2 against Philly last year.
I love that guy.
I mean, he should have been a Knick for, not Knick for life, but a Knick from that point forward.
Here's the debate, because I've seen you guys debate this.
What?
Greatest single season for a Nick ever. It's not
do you
Devo.
remember X-Men?
It's X-Men.
So I came
92.
in 93.
Okay.
So it was right after X-Men left. Tell me a little bit, like, why X-Men? You make
He set the tone. He stepped to Jordan in the 92 playoffs.
So his numbers in that series against the Bulls, you could argue they were the best numbers of anyone on the team in that series.
And he set the tone for what that team became. He was the enforcer before all of them kind of grew up into the... I know they had Oakley. Mason came along, but he was so good and he could score.
Yeah.
I was so bummed that he left. He went to Seattle, if my memory serves me correct, or maybe he went to Cleveland.
He says it's over. It was a money contract. Like the Knicks never offered him a deal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I don't think we've ever heard the real story on that.
It's X-Men and Devo as far as the two best, I think,
two best one season Knicks.
And I love it, man. I'm so bummed how it ended. I'm grateful for the run. I'm grateful for the moments. But dude, I just want one. I just want one. I just want to know what it feels like.
We're both 42. We've never seen a Knicks championship. You've also never seen a Bills championship. It's an unfair question, but I have to ask you before you go.
Which one?
If you had to pick it.
Yeah. The answer I always say is for Western New York, for those people.
That's fair.
It means so much to them. New Yorkers, they're Yankee fans, there's Rangers fans. Like, they've seen stuff, Giants. So for Western New York, I would want it more. And I have no ties to Western New York. I just became a Bills fan at the same time that I became a Knicks fan. But I think the Knicks, Ewing is my favorite athlete. Like, it's just, I cried. Like, 95, the finger roll. Like, I wanted to jump off a building. Like, it's
still the most hard. Game 1, Indiana. Game 5 at Philly last year. Starks 2 for 18. Something about the finger roll.
The finger roll. I mean, I just would have nightmares about what if it just rolled like that? Like, what if it?
Do you remember seeing the paper, like the photo in the newspaper
awful.
the next day?
It was awful, man.
You saw the ball was in.
It was awful. The pain that we have felt, we've earned it, and it's going to happen.
You believe that?
I could see Jalen Brunson holding a trophy. I could see it. I'm not sure what he's wearing, but I could see him holding it. So, by the way, I said the same thing about Porzingis. I said the same thing.
That he's going to hold.
How about this? On my 33rd birthday, 2015, I'm flying to Vegas to cover UFC 189. Okay. And I'm sitting in JFK Delta Terminal. And there comes Langston Galloway.
Oh, I love Langston Galloway.
And Grant and Kristaps Porzingis, rookie who had just been drafted and who Stephen A. said we were bamboozled and all that. And I walked up to Kristaps and I said, don't listen to anyone. New York has your back. Real fans have your back. We got you. And I said to him, you are going to win a championship. I felt it. I didn't expect the green jersey part.
He was a good Knick. I am childish and immature when it comes to players that leave our team at times.
Wasn't his fault.
I liked Kristaps.
Look at what he said after the Celtics series. He had love for the Knicks fans. He said, I hope they go far. Like, it was a bad situation. I'm happy for him. I don't root for him when he's on the Celtics. I'll tell you that. But Jalen's going to win a championship, and I hope it's in New York.
Your kids are looking to get out of here. You've been generous with your time.
They are. Yes.
Thank them on my behalf.
No problem.
Last thing before we get out of here, where I mean, everybody knows where they can find you, but anything you want
Knicks
to plug,
Film
promote?
School, baby. After every big win, sometimes after a loss, I need a few hours to digest. But immediately, I'm going on the stream. Shout out to you guys. I hope it's okay to say shout out to Knicks Fan TV.
Dude, CP's my brother, man.
I love CP. I used to be very frustrated. Shout out to my good friend Aaron Cohen, who's a big Knicks fan with me. And we would always say, the old, beat writer guys, they're just such curmudgeons. It's always, I go on Twitter, and it's just them, hitting each other with inside jokes. This is not fun. And then you guys emerged, a few years back, and I found all you guys, Knicks Twitter, just a positive, fun, smart take on the games. Keep it up. There's Walt right there. The future.
Hey, what's up, Walt?
Yeah, there he is. So I'm talking about the Knicks, Walt.
Walt,
2026 champs. There he is.
Jalen Brunson, have we seen his best yet? Yes or no?
Tell him, Walt, about Landry Shamet. How about Landry Shamet?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're the Shamet guy. I forget. No. So hold on. I got to interview Walt here. Why do you love Landry Shamet?
Because his shot is butter.
His shot is money, and he defends bigger than he is.
Yeah.
Which is why it's great.
He draws the charges.
He gets the charges.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You're the man, Ariel. You're the man.
Thank you guys. Hey, by the way, one last thing,
yes.
if you don't mind.
I don't mind you.
My son plays basketball, Walter, and he drew a charge. This is back in February, and I said to him, "Yo, that was impressive. Like, where'd you learn how to do that?" He goes, "I saw Jalen do it," and then I tweeted it. And then on the Roommates Pod, Matt, their host, brought up the tweet, and Jalen read it. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy!" So shout out to Jalen, Josh. Shout out to you guys, all the Knicks fans out there. This was a great honor for me. So keep it up.
The honor's all mine.
Thank you guys. Thank you
so
guys.
much.
Really appreciate it. All the best.
Ariel Helwani. There we go.